what did we discuss in the last class? Just a quick summary.
We talked about similarity and dissimilarity measures.
Right. We have discussed about similarity measures. Fine. That we have discussed in the previous class itself. What is more special about last class?
Later on, we talked about entropy and cross entropies.
Yeah, defined actually entropy. What did we define entropy as?
Measure of randomness or uncertainty.
Yeah, so entropy is measure of randomness or uncertainty. So how did we define this? P of
summation pi into log of.
Yeah, if we consider an event which is a discrete random variable having pi, negative of summation pi into log of ln of pi, or we can also write this as pi into 1 by pi, ln of 1 by pi, right? Summation over I to whatever pi all in this case. Right? See, then we discussed about cross entropy, and I said we will discuss about KL divergence. So let me define KL divergence. Then we will come back and discuss about the cross entropy. See, KL divergence, what it gives is, assume that we have a PDF P. Okay, so this P may have actually is a PDF and Q is another PDF. Okay, so if there are 6 possible outcomes, P may have PI ranging I equal to 1 to 6. Similarly, if there are 6 possible outcomes here, okay, Q also may have assumed that it's the number of outcomes are same, and I equal to 1 to 6. Okay, it can be 2 or any number of outcomes there may be there, but we assume that the number of outcomes in event in this event and in this event are same. Okay, and in this case we have what we have is the probability is Pi, and in this case what we have the probabilities are Qi. Now the question is, see, if I assume that this is the reference PDF or PMF, okay, and I want to see if this is the reference PMF, but this is unaware to me, in the sense that, see, the actual definition of entropy has happened in the context of communications. That is, this uncertainty will help us to decide on the number of bits that are required to encode the message that is given by the event X. Okay, so that means X is a random variable. It takes some possible outcomes. So if I want to keep sending what outcome I have got, okay, in each experiment, then what we do is this entropy will tell me how many number of bits should I use to send the communication or the outcome of each event. Fine. Hope you got this point now. Okay, what's the entropy is meant for in communication setting. Okay, so now P is assuming P to be the target distribution. That means, in fact, the true probabilities with which the outcomes come are P, but I assume that Q is the probabilities that the outcome are coming. Okay, so in some sense, P is the target PMF and Q is the PMF that I assume now. So now what KL divergence says is, or defines is, what is the discrepancy between the number of bits when I assume Q as the distribution, okay, or PMF, versus when I assume P as the PMF. Okay, so in other words, if I assume the correct distribution to be P, then I may calculate the number of bits that are required, maybe say 2. If I assume the instead of P, if I assume the wrong distribution, I may calculate little larger number of bits for sending the communication. Okay, so that discrepancy is being given by this KL divergence. In some sense, the divergence between the PDF or PMF if assuming P versus assuming Q is given by KL divergence. Okay, so I will write mathematically to understand this better. So if you have any question, you please ask me. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, please ask.
can you explain the KL divergence once again?
Yeah, I will explain. Let us define the mathematical thing, then we will come back. See, this is how the KL divergence is defined. See, what does this tell? See, let us expand this. So if I expand this, what do I get? Pi, ln of Pi minus summation Pi, ln of Qi. Okay, so what do you see here? This can also be written as
Entropy versus cross entropy.
Yeah. So what is this? First term is what? This is cross entropy, which we have defined before. And the second term is
Entropy.
yeah, this is minus of minus I can write. Okay, see what the KL divergence now, as you can see through the expression as well, is that if the number of bits that are required to send a message that is guided by this P, okay, is 2 bits, fine. But I have assumed wrongly the distribution with which the outcomes are coming as Q. Then what happens? I may need to send more number of bits than assumed. Is it not? Because see, if I know exactly what the information is, I can optimize for that, or I can get the number of bits that are optimal for that to communicate. Fine. So the information can be optimally represented. If I know that the target distribution is P and I am also assuming P, fine. But if I wrongly assume that the target distribution is Q, then there is a divergence from the uncertainty that actually is. That is given by this KL divergence. Okay. So how much difference the probability PDF distributions differ, okay, from P to Q. That's what is given by KL divergence. And that is given by the cross entropy minus the entropy. Okay. So now in case usually what happens, if Pi is equal to Qi, then what happens to KL divergence? So if I correctly assume P equal to Q, then KL divergence equal to
0.
Yeah, so it's equal to 0. This is the minimum discrepancy I may have, assuming the target distribution to be correct as the like estimated or the predicted distribution, whatever the distribution actually is, I have guessed or I have also assumed the same distribution for communication or information representation. Okay, so here if I wrongly assume, the cross entropy term will be the one which is more on the top of actual uncertainty. Okay, so there is more uncertainty than the actual uncertainty that the target has. See this entropy of P in some sense, okay, of event with P. Okay, so assuming with P. So this is the uncertainty associated with the target distribution, right? With the distribution or PMF P, right? So this cross entropy, what does it represent? Uncertainty. Okay. Associated. The events are from P, but I assumed Q. With P and Q. Okay, so in some sense, with Q, while X outcomes are from Q, right? This is the cross entropy. Outcomes are from P. Okay, is this clear? The cross entropy, what it does represents is the uncertainty when the outcomes are from one distribution, but the distribution that I assumed are used to compute the uncertainty is another distribution. Okay, so whereas the entropy is uncertainty associated with that PMFP. Fine. So cross entropy usually will be higher because the uncertainty, if I assume wrong distribution and the samples are from different distribution, will be higher than the entropy. So the first term cross entropy, if I define it as, okay, cross entropy of outcomes X. So I assume that X are the outcomes. Okay, if X are outcomes, then cross entropy of X is greater than entropy of X. Okay, greater than or equal to. Right? So in the last class, we discussed that the cross entropy in some sense gives the measure of similarity, right? So this in fact gives the measure of dissimilarity. Okay, exactly saying this gives the measure of dissimilarity. Because when we differ from P to Q, how much is the discrepancy or more uncertainty do I have? Okay, that is being given by cross entropy. Right? So now, if you have any questions, please ask. Is this clear? What is scale divergence and cross entropy and entropy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, could you
Yeah,
give
please
some
ask.
examples, if possible?
What's that? You are asking about the example?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's fine. So now let us come to the examples. In fact, what I would suggest is you take the events E1, E2, and E3. Okay, in the last class that we have introduced, see if E1, what we said is uniformly distributed, and then we said entropy is very high. Okay, E2 is a certain event. Okay, where 1, 0, 0, 0. On there, the entropy is 0. So there is no uncertainty at all. Okay, then E3, what we have defined is there is a reasonable uncertainty. It's not as high as uniform distribution. That means it's not completely unknown. We don't know which random variable or which outcome comes in uniform distribution. It's completely all are equally likely, 1 to 6. Whereas in event E3, we say that actually 3 and 4 are more probable than others. They will come more frequently than others. So it is less uncertain. So we have seen individual events E1, E2, E3. Okay, now if we want to see the entropy, if you want to see the scale divergence between E1 and E3, that means assume that the actual distribution from which the outcomes are coming is uniform distribution, but I wrongly assumed that this is the distribution that events are coming. So this may be Q. Okay, so this if I assume it as Q as this, okay, whereas the P is this, okay, uniform distribution. what will happen then? There is a divergence from the assumed uncertainty or the assumed distribution to the actual distribution. That divergence is in some sense the measure of how much the PDFs P and Q are differ by. Okay, so that I would suggest you to compute, okay, and check. Now the divergence, how much P differ from, say, this, if I consider it as PQR, assume that this distribution, let it be R. Okay, so how much P differ from R? So in what I would suggest is, as an assignment, I will discuss another example here in the class now. Okay, but I would suggest as an exercise for you, compute the cross entropy. So usually H is the one they will denote the cross entropy with. In fact, entropy is also denoted by H. Okay, so yeah, so cross entropy P to Q, cross entropy, okay, P to R, cross entropy R to Q, okay, all the combinations. You just check cross entropy Q to P and so on. You check all these things, and what, based on this, what do you infer is what is the question that you need to answer in the next class. Okay, for this, what is necessary background is required, that I will discuss in the current class now. Okay, with another example. Fine. Is this clear? What you need to do, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, fine. So see, one more thing you need to see is the divergence from P to Q is not same as Q to P. This measure KL divergence, even though it's a measure of distance, or in some sense measure of the discrepancy between, or difference between the two PDFs. Okay, two PDFs, how much they differ, but it is not a metric. Okay, metric in the sense that in a Euclidean distance and few other distance measures or similarity measures, you know that they are metrics. Okay, because they follow the laws of commutative. Like if the distance between P to Q is same as Q to P. Okay, but in this case, scale divergence, it doesn't satisfy. As you see, this is a asymmetric distance measure. Okay, so as you can see, Pi given Qi minus ln of, so minus Pi given so Pi given Pi, as you can see here, Pi given Pi, okay, minus Pi given ln of Qi, okay, is the KL divergence from P to Q, whereas KL divergence from Q to P is summation Qi ln Pi, sorry, Qi ln Qi minus okay, so this will reverse. So Qi ln Qi minus summation Qi ln Pi. Okay, because this will, which divergence, which is you are considering it as the target distribution to reach out from one distribution, is different from if you consider the other one as target distribution and you want to reach out. Okay, in some sense, say for example, it's like, so if you have a lot of information, one of you have a lot of information, assume that, and the other student has partial information. So there is a reasonable gap and there is a small difference. See, the student 2 reaching out to the student 1 takes a lot of time, whereas student 1 reaching out to the student 2 will take lesser time. Okay, so this is in some sense like that. Is it clear? Is the difference clear between KL divergence from P to Q to Q to P? Similarly, cross entropy is also different from P to Q and Q to P. So HPQ is not same as HQP. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So let us now see some small example to understand this better. Okay, so see here, here is an example where they have computed the cross entropy. First is the entropy. Okay, so I hope you are able to see the events here, x1, x2, x3, x4. Okay, true probabilities were given as 0.5, 0.25, 0.125, 0.125. Okay, so it is half, 1/4, 1/8, 1/8. Okay, these are the initial probabilities. And this event has how many outcomes? How many outcomes are there in this event?
4 outcomes.
4 outcomes. Very good. And then they have computed the entropy. So entropy is here
1.75.
0.75. And then they have defined another predicted probabilities. These are actually predicted probabilities, as I said, are guess of the true probabilities. Okay, but they may or may not be exactly equal to true probabilities. Okay, so here it is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Right? So example similar to our events E3 and E2. Okay, so E3 and E1. So our event E3 is in some sense P. Event E1 is in some sense Q. Okay, so now they have computed the what is cross entropy. What is the cross entropy they have seen?
2.
Is 2. So what we observe here? Cross entropy versus entropy, which is higher?
Cross entropy.
Yeah, why is that? Any answer based on the discussion that we had?
Much it is the predicted probability that much deviated from the true probability.
Right.
Probability.
See, that deviation comes in KL divergence, but cross entropy, when we want to discuss, it is the uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah, when I assume the true probability and predicted probability are different, okay, then I compute the entropy, okay, then the uncertainty will be more than assuming the true probability and computing the outcomes also coming from that, okay, with the true probability. So the uncertainty is more in the cross entropy than entropy, and that's why it is little higher. Now, what does scale divergence says? P to Q. So you can now HPQ in some sense, if we write in H notation, this is HPQ minus, okay, HP, right? So HP given Q. So KL divergence, this we can write it as HPQ minus HP. Is this fine? This is what they have computed here. So this is exactly equal to 0.25. So that is the difference between the cross entropy and how much discrepancy is there between the uncertainty in assuming P to Q, okay, and then how much is the uncertainty in P, events that are coming with probability. So that's 0.25, right? Hope this is clear.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, sir, here, is there a reason that we are using the natural logarithm instead of the log base 2?
Yeah. So we are using log base 2 only. So this is essentially they use log base 2, not log natural logarithm. And I am writing, but consider it as log base 2. For all communication purposes, they write log base 2. But for us, I don't think it really matters, because anyway, it's just a normalizing term. So it comes out and it's not a very important thing for us.
Okay, sir.
For loss, when we use as a loss function, it doesn't really matter. It's just a constant term that comes out. But when we use as a in communication scenarios, ln2 only they use, log base 2 only use, because there the interpretation is in terms of number of bits, how much information that we need to send, or the whole communication, the whole discussion now again maps to the number of bits. That's binary bits. So ones or zeros.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. So now let's see the case where we have the predicted probability approaching the true probability. So in that case, what will happen? See if, as you can see in example 1, exactly same as what we had before. In example 2, they made one of them, okay, point closer to these probabilities, predicted probabilities made closer to true probability. Okay, so that's what you can see now. There is a closeness of the cross entropy to the entropy, and then the difference between divergence, scale divergence has decreased. Okay, so now if both are exactly same, then the KL divergence will be 0, right? So this is how actually the cross scale divergence is a measure of how much different in some sense the probabilities P and Q are, but taking P as reference is different and taking Q as reference is different. Okay. So is this clear? So that is seen here. Okay, if you consider KL divergence from P to Q or Q to P, they are different. That is seen in the last column here. There is a nice blog which discusses this. I will give the link here for your subsequent clarifications and following up. Hope this is clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's move on now. See little more aspects. See what usually happens in classification problems is we have a target distribution or target PMF or density. Okay, and we usually when we initialize randomly, we get some arbitrary density, and we want to move from the target, say the arbitrary PMF to target PMF. Okay, that is the scenario. That is the context in which we use the cross entropy. Okay, we use cross entropy or KL divergence as a loss function for optimizing some the network or optimizing the algorithm at hand. So we may have actually a black box algorithm. Okay, as we have seen, X is the input. Okay, and there may be probable outputs that are defined by the having the density P. Okay, but the actual output density that I get may be Q. Okay, Q is the obtained or predicted density. Predicted PMF. So if it is a 10 class classification problem, so this P will have actually this target. Okay, target PMF may be actually so 1 0 0 0 or whatever. Okay, for actually if I give the first class sample, it will be 1 0 0 0 and so on. Okay, so this is for a sample in X belongs to omega-1 class, right? So like P predicted PMF may differ. So I want to compute how much these two are different. So I can use the, since these are probabilities or PMF or PDFs, so I may use the KL divergence as a distance measure. Okay, instead of using the distance measure as Euclidean distance, I may use this, since P is my reference density, I use P to Q. Okay, so if I use this, then what do I get actually? So I write actually now in terms of HPQ minus HP. This is what I get, right? So now the question is, see, this is for different samples. I may have large number of samples. I want to minimize this. Do I want to minimize or maximize? What should we do with this? In an optimization problem, if we pose it as an optimization problem, and if you want to use this as a loss function, what should we do?
Minimize.
We have to minimize this because this is the discrepancy between the target density and the assumed density or predicted density. Thus we call it as loss function. Okay, wherever we want to minimize, we call it as loss function. If we don't want to minimize, if we want to maximize and so on, we may call it as optimization function. Okay, for optimizing means we want to make it in some sense maximum. Also, our objective function. Objective function can be either loss function or minimization or maximization. Okay, something like that. Fine. So now this loss function is KL divergence. KL divergence, by the way, Kullback-Leibler divergence. Okay, so you can check the spelling once again in the reference, but I will write some Leibler, I think. Okay, so this is the typical distance measure when we have probabilities. Okay, or the predicted probabilities are the. See here, this is actually what, this is actually same for what? So should we consider this whole thing in minimization, or can we eliminate any of the terms in this? Okay, during our optimization is a question. Any answer for that? No. What is the second term? HP, is it same for all samples or not?
It is
Same,
same.
sir.
It is same. So same for all samples. And hence, we need not consider in optimization. Why unnecessarily hanging it around? So what we can write it as, So instead of this as the loss function, KL divergence, I can consider the loss function as
Cross entropy.
yeah, loss can be simply cross entropy. Okay, so that is HPQ. So now my objective function itself, okay, is J X comma all network weights is equal to HPQ. Okay, so what usually we write objective functions are the cost functions in describing in terms of the parameters to be optimized and the input that's involved. Okay, so in fact, you can also, if you want, you can also write the output, but essentially this is the one. Okay, so these are parameters. Optimize. And this is the input. If you give this to, what essentially we get is the this HPQ is a function of these things. In fact, Y also you can write because there are labels also used in this. So P. Right. So this is essentially a loss function we mostly use in many of the optimization or many of the learning tasks. Right. So, and one more thing is usually, as we said, the target density is of this nature, where it is 1, 0, 0, 0 or 0, 1, 0, 0 and so on. So this is in some sense binary in nature. See, if this is the case, what will be the what will be the cross entropy? So if I compute with this kind of thing, cross entropy will, how does it look like? Can you give a typical example? How does it look like? If Pi is like this, how does cross entropy will be? Simply, any quick answer?
It contains only a single term.
Yeah, it only contains this single term. Which term does it contain? Okay, this is equal to P1 into ln of, okay, Q whatever at that location. So if Pi is equal to 1 for I equal to say whatever C class, okay, then QC, right? And this is HPQ itself, negative of, right? This alone will be the cross entropy. This is referred to as binary cross entropy. Okay, so more importantly, what we do is, see, for example, we may have actually, see, for PI is the PDF, target PDF, and 1 minus PI is actually the deviation from the target. Okay, and then this, see, if there are only two possibilities for PI, one PI or 1 minus PI. Okay, so then it is PI into, let me just assume that it's a binary classification problem. Even we don't have actually 10 different outcomes. Assume that there is only one outcome, just to simplify the discussion, and it can take only binary value. Okay, let us start from there. So the output is binary, but it can take either 1 or 0, and it's a single output. In that case, how do I write the cross entropy? Okay, so the outcome can be P or 1 minus P. This is the target. Okay, target outcome can be 1 P or 1 minus P, where P is a binary value. And QI is what Q is what I get as the output. So then the cross entropy is defined as binary cross entropy, P into ln of Q plus 1 minus P into ln of 1 minus q. Okay, this is the binary cross entropy between P and Q. P takes actually 0 or 1. Okay, and then Q is whatever probability I get. So the output is only one class. That means actually output can be either 0 or 1. So you can see more clearly here. See, this is the target distribution. Okay, and this is the PDF I have. Let us see. Yeah, this one you can see. This is the binary cross entropy where you can see this is either 0 or 1. Output can be 0 or 1. Okay, and then the possible predicted probabilities will be Q or 1 minus Q. Okay, it's actually if you want to make a classification of dividing into class 1 or class 2. Okay, so if it is 1, we put into class 1. If it is 0, we put into class 2. In such scenario, the output predicted will be only one value, that is P, that is Q. Okay, the predicted output is Q, but the actual targeted output will be 0 or 1. Okay, if it is 0, I will put into class 1 or class 2. If it is 1, I put into class 1, like that. Okay, so in such scenario, instead of defining it as the general entropy with P taking any value and P taking any value, we define it as a binary cross entropy. Okay, and then in such case, what do we can write simply as P into log Q plus 1 minus P into 1 minus log Q. And this directly gives us the loss function. Is this clear? Is this clear, or is there any clarification required? Yeah, you should tell in case if it is not clear. Should I repeat this aspect?
So please once repeat, sir.
Yeah, fine. See, assume that there is a neural network. Okay, so same neural network. We assume that the neural network need to classify into two classes, one of the classes. Okay, so the input we are giving and what we get expected output is predicted probabilities is Q only. Okay, because we want to classify into class 1 or class 2. We put into class 2 if P equal to 1, if or the output equal to 1, Q equal to 1. We put into class 2 if P equal to 0. Okay, and this Q is the obtained output and P is the actual target output. That means if Q takes 1, we put into class 1. If Q takes 0, we put into class 2. Okay, this is a simple classification problem where we have only one output neuron. Okay, it's like a XR problem or anyway, any simple even and or kind of problem where you have actually output is either put into one of the class 1 or class 2, fish classification problem or any binary classification problem. Okay, so in such case, we can have only one output Q, and Q is equal to 1 means it is belongs to class 1. Q equal to 0 means it belongs to class 2. Okay, so that means then what happens? The true probability for class 1 is in some sense Q. True predicted probability for class 1 is Q, whereas true predicted probability or the predicted probability for class 2 is 1 minus Q. Do you agree or not?
Yes, sir.
So these are the predicted probabilities. For class 1 and class 2, right? So in this case, how do we compute the loss function is through binary cross entropy. So what does, how does it can be written? Because P is the true predicted probability for class 1. Sorry, true probability for omega 1. Okay, 1 minus p will be the true probability for omega, right? And this 1 minus q will be the probability, predicted probability for omega 1, and this is the predicted probability for omega 2 class. Okay, so now the cross entropy can be simply written as p into log q plus 1 minus p into 1 minus log q with the negative sign. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is referred to as binary cross entropy. So the same applies even if we have multiple outputs. In such case, what we do is, so each element by element, we write this expression, and then summation over all individual elements will give us the total loss function. Okay, so here you can see in the example we have discussed for the single output. So the binary classification problem. So where the output, if it belongs to 1, then it is one class. If it is 0, another class. There are 2 class classification problem. But the output I get is only P, only Q. Predicted output is only Q. With that, I can decide whether it is class 1 or class 2, because Q indicates if it is probability for class 1 is Q, class 2 is 1 minus Q. Fine. Similarly, if the probability for the true probabilities are also like that. And these are the true probabilities and these are the predicted probabilities, and this is how we get the binary cross entropy. Fine. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now if we have more classes, then what happens? So in such case, if we have actually the out predict P also has many. It's a multi-class classification problem, okay, wherein P can take several values. It's a d cross 1 vector, but each is a binary value. That means the true probabilities will be either 1 or 0. Okay, so for omega 1 class, if x belongs to omega 1, this is the case. If x belongs to omega 2, it's a 0, 1, 0, 0, and so on. And Q can also be actually is a binary. Is not a binary, but it is supposed to predict either ones or zeros. Okay, ideally, if the sample belongs to omega 1 class, Q also has to be 1. So it is ideally 0.9 or 0.8 or something. Okay, in case if it is no, the others will be very small. Okay, so this is so each element here can be considered as one of the binary class entropy kind of loss measure. So when we put together the total loss function for this kind of scenarios, how do we write? Can one of you tell? Binary cross entropy loss. In this case, how do we write? So we write actually Pi ln of Qi plus 1 minus Pi into ln of 1 minus Qi and summation over Ri with negative sign. Is this fine? This is the binary cross entropy loss. Is this clear or not? Each element take a binary value, and there are I equal to, say here, I equal to 1 to D such elements, and we have written the loss associated with each corresponding P and Q. Okay, Pi and Qi. I hope this is clear.
Sir,
Yeah.
how can we actually use this for multi-class? It's little unclear.
Yeah, this is multi-class only, right? So what we are thinking is considering here scenario is, see, there is several outputs here. Okay, so each Q1, Q2 up to QD. These are the predictions from the whatever network or algorithm. It gives actually D outputs. Fine. So then what, these are the actually predicted value. Q is all put together, but each of them are supposed to be 0 or 1 ideally. Okay, but it may predict 0.1 or 0.8 or whatever. Okay, but as a real number, but ideally they should be either 0 or 1. Okay, so this is P1 and then up to PD. So P1 to PD, any PI, okay, will be equal to 0 or 1. Sorry, 0 or 1. Correct? And hence this is a multi-class problem only, right? So if it belongs to second class, then say P2 only will be equal to 1, remaining all will be zeros. And each of these terms will give the cross entropy with the corresponding element. Binary cross entropy.
So, sir, it's like it checks every class, and for every corresponding to every class, it takes the loss and adds it all up.
Correct. That's all. So for every class output, it takes the loss and adds them. Correct. So in case, usually what happens is, see, the predicted output can be 0.9, 0.9, 0.6 and 0.01, 0.02 and so on. If we even consider 5-class classification problem. Okay, so but it may be ideally 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Oh, so in case if this is the ideal one, then there is an error in the first one, like first class probabilities, in the third class probabilities, and but there is a small error in the other ones. Okay, but it takes each of the errors and try to add them in the final loss error.
Yes, sir.
Fine, yeah. This is not exactly minus. This is actually these two in between. What we do is this is P and this is, sorry, this is Q and this is P, and we perform the binary cross entropy between Q and P. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
For multi-class classifier, can't we use directly summation of PI and QI?
So what you want to do?
For multi-class classifier, can't we use directly summation of PI and QI? I think that.
Okay, what you are saying is, can I directly, can't I use? Okay, now P without writing 1 minus. Can't
Yes,
I
sir.
directly PI, LN, QI? Can't I use that? That's what you are saying, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, here we know that if it belongs to one sample, one class, it doesn't belongs to other classes. That we know here. In binary class, like even when we define as a one-hot encoding. That means, see, if X belongs to 5th class, it doesn't belongs to 4th, like X is not 4 or 2 or anything else, right? So that's why we are considering 1 minus also. Otherwise, you can directly do only with that.
Okay.
So if say if we know if one of them is 1, remaining all are zeros. So that condition also we should consider into account.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, what happens is only that will come and remaining things will get multiplied with 0 and they won't even come into the picture, right? So that loss also we would like to consider in terms of putting 1 minus.
Okay.
Yeah. So X belongs to 5 means, okay, so then the X does not belongs to 0 or 1 or any other things. So other than 5. Yeah. Except 5. Right. Any other questions? Right. So any other questions here? Okay. So now let's conclude our class here. Then that's all actually is about binary cross entropy and entropy and divergence. So these are in fact important measures that we use in classification problems. In fact, in neural networks and convolutional neural networks, we widely use binary class entropy as the loss. So you can come back in the next class if you have any other doubts. Then we will discuss again. We are pending with the overview of other mathematical concepts that are required. So before I close it, I will just quickly tell what are all the other required. Okay, shall we go ahead with the quiz on Monday? Also, for that, what you need to know is, so if we have f of x as, okay, x transpose y, what is dou f by dou x? Okay, and if we have f of x as x transpose kind of mx, okay, where m is a matrix, or my, what is dou f by dou x? So such vector valued functions and scalar valued functions, when we have, how are the derivatives with respect to the vectors? Okay, that's of importance for us to apply and use at several places. So what I would suggest is you can go through them, and if you are ready, we can take up the exam on Monday. So what shall we go ahead with the Monday without postponing further?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So let's go ahead on Monday. Anyway, we will discuss further on the subsequent classes if necessary on the mathematics. So probably I may spend, after Monday's quiz, I will spend half an hour for the other mathematics and try to wind up. But let us take it Monday exam. Yeah. Thanks then. Bye.